I'm divided on this thing. Are these rules designed flat out to kill fracking by allowing the environmentalists endless cause to go to court and hold it all up? Or are they a legitimate attempt to make fracking safe for everyone? Which is it?
Well, I'd say it's the first step toward the death of 1,000 cuts. And this is probably the first 200 or 300 blades being introduced by the federal government. It's not going to kill fracking, but some of the estimates are $100,000 per well, $345 million annually. And the suspicion is, first of all, the states efficiently regulate this, and if the fracking companies have problems, they would be sued into massive lawsuits. State regulators are on this. This is going to impose the one-size-fits-all federal government solution. Now, it's only on federal lands right now, but it's the camel's nose in the tent. Yeah. And they've stated they want to go after fracking.
Here's what stuck out to me. You have to, if you're going to frack, you've got to tell the feds, you've got to tell the local regulators exactly which chemicals you are using. At that point, I expect all the greenies to come along and say, that chemical is toxic, even the most minute amounts, you can't do that, let's go to court. And then if the court decision goes against them, they'll appeal it. Everything gets held up forever. Can you see that happening?
Yes. I mean, and your drinking water, there's just pretty much every compound, arsenic and everything else. And everything exists in trace amounts in our environment, so you can always claim something is at in the compound. We had the Colorado governor who came to Capitol Hill to testify, Governor Hickenlooper. He actually said he drank fracking water. It's regulated by the states. It's mostly water and clay and a few other additives that they actually use in food. The key here is the agenda, Stuart. Obama's science advisor, John Holdren, said in the 70s that he thinks that energy that's too cheap is one of the greatest hazards to society. And the more we get away from economy based on energy, the more jobs we'll have.
I'm sorry, Mark, we're just getting the rules, the official release of the rules now. And the one thing I've got to add here is that the rules demand higher standards for recovered waste. I guess that's another litigious element in these rules here. But the other side of the coin is that now you've got standards, now you've got rules which can be applied throughout the United States, and maybe that helps fracking. Is there an argument to be made in that direction?
No, because the fracking boom has happened because it's been on private lands with owners with private property rights making deals with companies and then allowing this just to go boom without the federal regulators having their hands on it. That's why we've had this major fracking boom where they're projecting it to overtake coal as our #1 source of electricity. That's why the U.S. is becoming the world's leader in this because of that, and they're going after the foundation of its success. So I don't think that argument is going to fly. Keep in mind, the Energy Secretary Munoz testified at his hearings. He wanted to make, quote, dirty fuel, carbon-based fuel, 3 times more expensive. This is the first step toward that. Obama's already taken out coal. They've stopped Keystone Pipeline. They're preventing oil drilling in places like Alaska. What's left? Fracking. Solar is 0.23% of our electricity. Wind is barely over 4%. And their implication is we're going to replace carbon-based energy with solar and wind at some point. And it's many decades away.
I'll give it a century.